The Staghorn Coral by Aya Nadim. What is biodiversity? The term biodiversity, from biological diversity, refers to the variety of life on Earth at all its levels, from genes to ecosystems, and can encompass the evolutionary, ecological, and cultural processes that sustain life. Biodiversity includes not only species we consider rare, threatened, or endangered, but also every little living thing, from humans to organisms we know little about, such as microbes, fungi, and invertebrates. However, the main focus of today is the staghorn coral, a critically endangered species of coral. How is human activity impacting a specific species within an ecosystem? The staghorn coral species was listed as threatened under the U.S. Endangered Species Act in 2006 and is currently listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Particularly susceptible to bleaching, staghorn coral populations have declined more than 80% over the last 30 years due to higher incidence of disease and the impacts of global warming, especially higher ocean temperatures and ocean acidification. Human-caused or anthropogenic activities are major threats to coral reefs, in specific staghorn coral. Pollution, overfishing, destructive fishing practices using dynamite or cyanide, collecting live staghorn coral for the aquarium market, mining coral for building materials, and a warming climate are some of the many ways that people damage the species of reef all around the world every day. So how can we prevent this? Well, there's something called hybridization. What is hybridization? According to hybridization is the process of combining two complementary According to hybridization is the process of combining two complementary single-stranded DNA or RNA molecules and allowing them to form a single double-stranded molecule through base pairing. So how does this apply to the preservation of the staghorn coral? Hybridization on the staghorn coral. Hybridization was traditionally considered rare on coral reefs. However, a rapid increase in hybrid studies over the last 20 years have revealed that hybridization on coral reefs is common and widespread. In this PowerPoint, I'll summarize the growing body of evidence arising from the studies on the staghorn coral to verify the occurrence of hybridization and examine the influence hybridization has had on the enormous levels of biodiversity present on this species of coral reef. Evidence. According to Huang et al. 2009, 100% observed heterozygosity and chromosome data support the hypothesis that hybridization is widespread and an important evolutionary process, which is 100% accurate. However, the only accepted naturally hybridizing coral system is the staghorn coral. The Caribbean system comprises two species, Acropora cervicornis, staghorn coral Lamarck 1816, and A. palmata, elkhorn coral Lamarck 1816, which hybridized to form a third lineage with intermediate morphology named A. prolifera, fused staghorn Lamarck 1916. The low species complexity of the Caribbean Acropora fauna provides a useful model for unraveling evolutionary relationships and testing the extent and directionality of introgression. Acropora prolifera was first recognized as a hybrid when molecular analysis showed all individuals examined were heterozygous at 3 diagnostic nuclei. From there, scientists were able to distinguish the coral as the first consistent hybrid. However, because no second-generation hybrids were detected in the A. prolifera samples examined, Vollmer and Palumbi, 2002, concluded that A. prolifera hybrids are immortal mules that persist only through asexual fragmentation. If hybrids exist via asexual fragmentation, they would be expected to have a very low genotypic diversity. But when the genotypic diversity of A. prolifera was examined, it was found to be highly variable. Moreover, most of the hybrid individuals had unique genotypes, suggesting they were derived from sexual reproduction. This was a huge step in the development of the reproduction and preservation of the coral through hybridization. Here is a graph of increase in staghorn coral through hybridization from 1850 to 2010 by the millions. Factors. Environmental. Preserving the staghorn coral is beneficial to the environment, yes. However, currently the legislative status of hybrids is unclear, and hybrids are rarely protected in conservation programs. Failing to adequately manage hybridization and hybrid lineages may lead to potential losses of evolutionary novelty. Declines in phylogenetic diversity or species extinctions. To conserve existing coral reef biodiversity and the processes that generate biodiversity, conservation policies must be redefined, and instances of hybridization must be assessed and managed on a case-by-case basis. Thank you for listening.